One of my writers, Nick Kosko, a young college guy from Rutgers, kind of cutting his teeth in the journalism business and the broadcast business. He does some radio work up at Rutgers. Want to touch on a couple different topics with him. Good morning, Nick.
What's going on, Dave? How are you?
Pretty good, man. You enjoying your summer?
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of work and a lot of lifting, and just a little relaxing. Going back to school, basically in a month at this point now.
Nice. Want to get your take, Nick, on the interview we just had with Joe Callahan's dad, and got to be cool as a guy who played football at Egg Harbor Township a couple years ago, and a guy who's been into the high school football scene here for a while, to see a local guy making it to the NFL. Obviously, it's still training camp, so we'll see if he makes the roster, but definitely a cool thing to see the local fans have something to cheer about it here in preseason.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just listening to that interview, I could tell how proud his father was, and then just even looking at it from the perspective of a former player that is seeing another, local high school product who was obviously very talented, went to a D3 school. You figured, okay, that's going to be pretty much it there. He'll probably have a nice career there. But when I heard a couple weeks ago, or at least back during, after when the draft happened back in end of April, early May, and when the Packers that were calling him, I thought that was unbelievable, considering that he happened to find a D3 quarterback that was lighting it up and figured to give him a tryout. And sure enough, he's one of the, I would say, one of the top 3 quarterbacks on that roster. And he might even start tomorrow night over the other quarterback they have over there at UCLA's Brett Hundley. So he's definitely going to get some playing time tomorrow.
Yeah, kind of a neat little local rivalry in that game as well. Anthony Sarro from Holy Spirit is with the Colts, trying to make that team. And you also have Brett Caprio in the scouting department for the Colts, former mainland star quarterback. So that's kind of a neat little local flavor to the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's just amazing that, these guys come right here from South Jersey, and all the locals down here can really attest to that these guys worked their butts off to get where they're at. Anthony Sarro had a pretty nice career over at USC, and then the Colts ended up bringing him in, and he's fighting for a roster spot. So it's really neat to see guys that you saw play in high school and played against, and now they're getting done college, and now they're already in the NFL, a chance to make a roster with 2 really good franchises. I mean, it's kind of surreal to say the least, considering you've seen these guys in action in your backyard at a high school field. Now they're getting ready to go in Canton, Ohio.
Now, did you get a chance to play against either one of those guys? They're a couple years older than you.
They were a couple years before my time, actually, so I actually did not get to play against them, but I have seen. I at least did see Callahan play for Holy Spirit. I was watching. I forget what game it was, but I did see a Holy Spirit game with him playing, and you could tell right away he was above the rest in terms of athletic ability and skill set at quarterback. Whenever he did get a chance to throw the ball, and I figured this kid be playing in college, but he went to Wesley College, lit it up again, and then here we are.
Talking with Nick Kosko. He's a rising junior at Rutgers University, former Egg Harbor Township football player and wrestler, and also does some work with Glory Days magazine. Nick, I guess talk about that a little bit. Callahan going to a small school kind of shows you that if you're good enough, they're going to find you no matter where you go, and maybe kind of I guess something for high school kids to look at, saying, hey, maybe the Division I teams aren't coming calling while I'm in high school, but I can go to a Division II or Division III school, play hard, and work my way into possibly being somebody that they look at, a few years down the road.
Yeah, I mean, Division I schools are always going to get the big spotlight with NFL scouts, and they'll come down and see, like big schools like Rutgers and among other schools, the Big Ten, the Michigans, the Ohio States, even smaller D1 schools. They look in the AAC, like in East Carolina, UConn, schools like that. They're always going to get NFL attention because it's almost commonplace. You're going to find a couple NFL studs from even these smaller D1 schools. But I mean, high school kids really can't get discouraged if they're going to go to a D2 or D3 high school or college. Excuse me. You can really just look at Callahan as the prime example right now. I mean, he just set a bunch of D3 records as a quarterback, and he didn't need all 32 teams calling him just asking if he wants to try. He just needed one team to say yes, and then boom, there's your opportunity. He got into training camp. He's moving right along, and now that Aaron Rodgers isn't playing tomorrow in the first exhibition game, he's going to get a chance to play and show what he can do. And you never know what can happen. I mean, I firmly believe he'll make the roster. Not that he'll be a backup quarterback. He might just end up being third string for the year. But, I mean, if he makes that roster, you never know what can happen. He could end up beating out Huntley for that second string spot. I mean, this kid could end up being a backup to Aaron Rodgers for the Packers. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It just goes to show you that a bunch of hard work, all the hard work that he put in, and he just never stopped improving. He always improved each year, as his father mentioned before, and the kid threw over for 5,000 yards his senior year, and you're bound to catch somebody's attention.
Yeah, you throw for 5,000 yards in a flag league, you're getting somebody's attention.
I would hope so. I mean, just airing it out over there.
Nick, what's the buzz up at Rutgers among some of the guys you hang out with and talk to in terms of that football program? They've gotten some really great recruits the past year or so, most notably in our area, Bo Melton from Cedar Creek, and also Owen Bowles from Cedar Creek. So they're kind of tapping into the South Jersey talent pool. There's got to be a lot of optimism among the Rutgers students and fans about the next couple of years under Chris Ash.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Ash has been phenomenal so far in terms of the recruiting game. He's really changed the culture up there. I'll tell you, at least from a standpoint from me and my colleagues over up at WRSU, we're really excited for this season. I mean, might not be expecting a bowl game right off the bat in this first year, but I mean, around 5 or 6 wins, maybe right on the fringe of a bowl team this year, at least in my mind. The recruit, I mean, it's going to be a challenge this year, but the buzz is real, and with all the recruits he's getting at least for the 2017 class, it's been outstanding, especially all these top Jersey products and a lot of local guys that we know in terms of Bo Melton, Owen Bowles, among others. And, we're looking at there's another big New Jersey prospect, Fred Hanser, who's a defensive lineman. He's narrowed down his top 3 to Florida, Tennessee, and Rutgers. So that just goes to show you Ash has been doing a fantastic job of keeping these top Jersey products in New Jersey and kind of keeping them away from, the SEC, Michigan, Ohio State. He's done a fantastic job, and I'll tell you what, they're already ranked, I believe, top 20 now for the 2017 recruiting class. So that just goes to show you in 1 year of him being able to be a full-time recruiter, he's getting all these kids in to buy into the program, and they're just. I think that they're gearing up to be a really good football team down the line. Obviously, this season is going to be a little bit tough, considering they're still in the Big Ten. They're in the stacked Big Ten East division with Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State, and Penn State. It's just a stacked division. It'll be tough, but in terms of 2017 and beyond, I mean, these kids are going to start developing, and you're going to be looking at a team that's going to be contending for at least the top 4 teams in the Big Ten. It's pretty exciting, to say the least.
Talking with Nick Kosko, does some work with Rutgers Radio as well as Glory Days magazine. Nick, real quick before we let you go, you did a story in the latest edition of Glory Days about the Sand Sharks baseball program. A lot of different levels, a little bit different than some of the baseball we talk about in terms of Babe Ruth and Senior Little League and all that kind of stuff. This is more of travel ball, high-level elite stuff. Tell us about that program a little bit and your impression just from talking to Coach Ed Hayes and some of the guys. Obviously, they've produced some outstanding talent throughout the last couple of years, so a lot of guys that are either in professional baseball or high-level college.
Yeah, I mean, this program's got to be good considering that Mike Trout actually did play for this team while he was living down here, went to Millville High School, and look where he's at. He's the best player in baseball now. Talking with Coach Ed Hayes was great because he's all about his players. I mean, he made sure to mention that him and the rest of the other 50+ coaches, they're all strictly volunteers. They get no money from coaching these kids. They do it out of the love of the game and for the pure joy to see these kids succeed. And they work hard. Whenever it's off season from the high school year, these kids are out there playing baseball. They're going up against top level prospects all around the state or all around the East Coast. They're just they don't stop playing. They don't stop practicing. They work hard, and obviously it shows when you have and the laundry list I sent you of all the college kids from this area and from that Sand Sharks program. I talked to Mike Diani from Holy Spirit and Matt Ardente from Abstinence. There's two examples of kids that just went through the program, played from 10 years old up, and got in. They got the college attention from the Sand Sharks, which they were able to show. They do all these college showcases that just get them attention. And that's really the whole point of it, to make these guys better baseball players, better men, and to get all this college attention. And then there they go. They have their pick of a school.
Good stuff, Nick. We're up against the break. Got to let you go, but we'll catch up with you soon, man. Thanks. Good stuff.
Sounds good, Dave. See you.
All right, have a good weekend, man.
You too.
That was Nick Kosko from Glory Days Magazine. Also does some radio work up at Rutgers. We're going to get that